The film is Inheritance. It's in theaters now. Stars Phoebe uh, Dynevor from Bridgerton and Reese Ifans. I believe he was the Scorpion in Spider-Man. The story is about Phoebe, who plays Maya. She is a woman who has recently had to take care of her mother as she is slowly dying. The movie takes place at her funeral with her sister, who, and all of a sudden during the funeral, her father shows up, played by Reese Ifans, and they're wondering why he's there because he left them long ago. He got himself into trouble, and so neither of them want them there. Maya is out of money. Costs a lot of money to take care of her mother, and so the father decides, hey, I've been a lousy father, why don't you help me? He's a international real estate agent for corporate real estate agent. He says, I could use some help, it's going to make you a lot of money. In fact, later on he just hands her a stack of money and says, meet me in Egypt. While in Egypt, they bond as daughter and father. That is until all of a sudden, while at dinner, the father is kidnapped by what appears to be mob-like characters. Not only that, as he is kidnapped, then Interpol runs in. She gets a phone call from her father, says, get out of there. And she does. And so now she's stuck in Egypt. Her father is in jail. She loves her father and wants to do what she can. She gets a phone call from the kidnappers, says that there's an important package in Korea, and that she needs to go to Abu Dhabi, or no, sorry, go to Dubai to pick up the key, and then go to Korea to get the package. And all the while, she feels she's being followed. Interpol is after her, and there's something strange going on with the father. So let me talk about this film for a second. It's directed by Neil Berger. Sorry, I just need to pull my notes up here. It's directed by Neil Berger, who directed Limitless, Divergent, and Illusionist. Stars Dynevor here from Bridgerton. So this is the interesting thing about this movie. This movie was shot on an iPhone. In fact, this movie takes place around the world in 4 different countries. And what it looked like when you watch this movie, you're going to swear that there was barely a crew involved in this movie. The camera follows Maya throughout the entire film. And while in the movie, you realize, hey, all these people and extras in the background, they're probably real people who just happened to be on the street when they were filming it. They would walk down a city through a street market. And you can tell that the camera is kind of tight in on her, and that everyone around her has no clue what's happening. And so I liken it to this. There was a movie that came out maybe 6 years ago. It was a horror film that took place at Disneyland. And these filmmakers went into Disneyland, had their cameras hidden, and just started shooting their main characters walking through Disneyland, going through places they shouldn't be. And then from there, capturing all this footage then to build a horror film at Disneyland. What happens here is, I think that's exactly what happens in this movie. In fact, it is confirmed that it was shot with an iPhone from Neil Berger. Everything, all the lighting is ambient lights. At night, the only light in the room is the motel lamp. There's a chase scene that is incredible. There's a taxi that is basically a moped. She gets on the back of the moped, and then they stage this car chase through the city in Egypt. And so they have 2 or 3 cars just following them, and he's capturing it. And then because of the small camera, there are people who are on the street watching this. They'll look into the camera and you wonder, is that person involved? Is that person one of the bad guys? Or is it just a random citizen? I like this movie a lot. It builds in a great way. I think I love more the audacity of this movie. The fact that how it was shot and how clandestine it was shot. The fact that there's probably 0 permits filed to make this movie, which just excites me as that excites me as an indie filmmaker. And I think if anything, this movie, if you are an aspiring indie filmmaker, watch this movie and take notes, because the things they do are fairly incredible. And I have to hand it to him, because there are times where she has to go and have her passport looked at, passport ran. And there was some production here, because I think they actually went to customs and asked them if they could take over a desk and film these scenes, because clearly the people in line and the people at customs are real people. And then she's walking up to a fake agent who's now running her fake passport because they're making a movie, and then letting him on. Again, the sheer audacity of making this movie is just what makes this movie fun.
But see, I miss those kind of balls, man.
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's the thing. Back in the day, you couldn't call yourself an indie filmmaker if you didn't have some guerrilla footage. You know what I mean? Like, you had to just skip the permits, shoot what you can, and then run from the cops. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of I kind of miss that type of filmmaking.
Yeah. I mean, we have our guest in the background. We'll get to her soon, but with this and Flight Risk, it's this idea that you have these big Hollywood directors deciding to make a truly independent film, a low budget indie film. I think for Mel Gibson and Flight Risk, he probably had a lot more money than this one. But for Neil Berger to come in and just say, hey, I'm bypassing the entire system. I'm just gonna get my cell phone, and we're making a movie, and we're gonna plan this thing out. And the fact that he could go to 4 countries and make this movie, this is the best in guerrilla filmmaking that I've seen in a very long time. And so, yeah, I highly recommend this movie. The ending scene, it plays out, the film kind of wraps itself up a little too quickly. But when the ending line of this movie is the title of the movie, that was like chef's kiss. There you go. That's the cherry on top. So, look.
Yeah, it was the movie. It was the movie I was going to see yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
before my accident. So, but it's definitely on my list of movies to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah. Recommendation. Another indie film, ironically directed by Hollywood directors. All right. To your comments.
You know what, though? I think we might start seeing a lot of that this year.
I think so. I just don't see the big studios willing to spend $10 million on a movie anymore. $30 million.
That's so stupid to me, though. I don't get that, man.
Well, the thing is, it's the lottery.
If you could drop 20 mil and then make 40 mil, 50 mil, I mean, that's a win.
Yeah, but if you can make a $200 million movie and earn $1 billion off of it, that's what the studio's focus is. It's these huge jackpots. And we're the ones to suffer for it, because we're not getting art films. We're not getting ingenious films.
But we're also the ones who aren't going to watch these big budget movies either, and they're losing money on them, right? So,
yeah, because honestly, there's no heart to them, and we want films with heart. Again, this movie, just watching it unfold and thinking, look, it's like going to a magic show. You're wondering how the trick works. That's what this movie is.